धन्यवाद। A very good morning, namaskar, abhar, abhinandan, namaste. A very warm greeting from Jawaharlal Nehru University, New Delhi, a beautiful campus. On behalf of the HRDC JNU, I am Sanjeev Sharma, and it gives me an immense pleasure and a great matter of pride that I am hosting the combined session for inaugural session for 3 courses. These courses are the 53rd refresher course in economics, 37th refresher course in the history, and the 7th refresher course in the global studies. I would happy to share with you that for this academic year, so these 3 courses are the last course for this academic year. For just to share a brief information with you, our HRDC programs, we have already completed more than 22 courses under different component. 4 faculty induction program, 11 refresher course, and 6 short-term course. We are more than happy by the presence of our esteemed guest, dignitaries, and speaker here with us. We have today with us Professor A.D.N. Bajpai sir, Honorable Vice Chancellor Atal Bihari Vajpayee Vishwavidyalaya, Bilaspur, Chhattisgarh, a renowned economist. We welcome sir. We have with us Professor P.C. Joshi sir, Honorable Vice Chancellor, University of Delhi, New Delhi. We have with us Professor K.N. Singh sir, Honorable Vice Chancellor, UP Rajsi Tandon Open University, Prayagraj, and the Vice Chancellor of Professor Rajendra University, Uttar Pradesh. We have with us our Director HRDC, Professor Brajesh Kumar Pandey sir. Welcome you sir. We have with us the course coordinators for 3 different courses. I briefly introduce Professor Kishendra Ghosh Dastidar sir, Professor of Economics in the Center for Economic Studies and the Planning, JNU. Dr. Anmoy Kanan, Associate Professor in Center for CSRD, School of Social Sciences, faculty in the Economics. We heartily welcome our respected coordinator for the refresher course in History, Professor Umesh Ashok Kadam, Chairperson for the Center of Historical Study, School of Social Sciences. We have with us Professor Sharad Kumar Soni sir, Center for Inner Asian Studies, School of International Study, course coordinator for the refresher course in History. We have with us Professor Ajay Dubey sir from the Center for African Study, School of International Kumar, School of Social Sciences. We have more than 120 participants connected virtually from different parts of the country to attend all these 3 refresher courses. We have received more than 3 to 4 times application for these courses, but as per UGC, we have a capping of 40 participants, so we may not be able to incorporate all the participants, and we have shortlisted only 40 participants in each courses, giving the preference to all the states in interdisciplinary courses for different subjects also. The purpose of conducting these courses to update existing knowledge and the skill enhancement of the faculty member in this technological era, so that faculty member don't see themselves as mere instructor, but as designer, developer, and the member of learning development team, with particular goals in their mind, and to encourage teachers to develop in-house education technology incubator. I will like to quote here from the Nobel laureates Rabindranath Tagore ji, that a teacher can never truly teach unless he is still learning himself. So a good teacher is one who can dare to learn and dare to teach. So with this brief background, मैं आगे के कार्यवाही के लिए HRDC UGC JNU के निदेशक प्रोफेसर ब्रजेश कुमार पांडे जी से विनम्र विनती करूंगा कि आप हमारे सभी कोऑर्डिनेटर्स, हमारे माननीय मुख्य अतिथि महोदय, डिस्टिंग्विश्ड स्पीकर और पार्टिसिपेंट्स का स्वागत करें। प्रोफेसर ब्रजेश कुमार पांडे सर प्रोफेसर हैं स्कूल ऑफ संस्कृत एंड इंडियन स्टडीज में, और इससे पहले नैनीताल यूनिवर्सिटी में प्रोफेसर थे। ओवर टू यू सर।
धन्यवाद डॉक्टर संजीव। आप सबका हार्दिक अभिनंदन है। सबको नमस्कार। विशेषकर जो हमारे माननीय अतिथिगण उपस्थित हैं, मैं उनको प्रणाम करता हूं। इस वर्चुअल प्लेटफॉर्म पे आप सबका स्वागत है। ऑनलाइन मोड में संचालित होने वाले 3 पाठ्यक्रम ग्लोबल स्टडीज, अर्थशास्त्र एवं इतिहास में जो आज से पुनश्चर्या पाठ्यक्रम प्रारंभ हो रहे हैं, वो हमारी HRDC के इस सत्र के अंतिम पाठ्यक्रम है। आज मैं विशेष रूप से उल्लेख करना चाहूँगा, आज अंतर्राष्ट्रीय महिला दिवस है। इस अवसर पर समस्त महिलाओं का हार्दिक अभिनंदन एवं नमन, जिन्होंने इस विश्व को रहने लायक बनाया है, अपने प्रतिभा, लगन और समर्पण से उसे सजाया संवारा है और अपनी क्रियाशीलता से उसे गतिमान बनाए रखा है। जीवन के प्रत्येक क्षेत्र में मातृशक्ति का योगदान अतुलनीय है। विज्ञान, प्रौद्योगिकी, कला, साहित्य, समाज विज्ञान जैसे अनेक क्षेत्रों में अपनी प्रतिभा, मेधा और जो अदम्य कर्मठता है, उससे आधी आबादी ने अनुप्राणित किया है। हम सब उसके लिए गौरवान्वित होते हैं और उनका अभिनंदन करते हैं। आज के इस उद्घाटन सत्र में हमारे बीच में 3 विशिष्ट शिक्षाविद, धुरीण विद्वान, शैक्षणिक प्रशासक उपस्थित हैं। आप कुलगुरुओं का औपचारिक स्वागत करना समस्त JNU परिवार के लिए सौभाग्य का विषय है। सर्वप्रथम मैं स्वागत करना चाहता हूं दिल्ली विश्वविद्यालय के माननीय कुलपति प्रोफेसर पूर्णचंद जोशी जी का। आपका सुदीर्घ प्रशासनिक एवं शैक्षणिक अनुभव हमारे जो शिक्षक साथी हैं, जो आज के प्रतिभागी हैं, उनके लिए प्रेरणादायी होगा। हम सभी साक्षी हैं कि आपके नेतृत्व में विश्वविद्यालय जो एक जड़ता आ गई थी, उसको त्याग करके गतिशील हो गया है। जिन समस्याओं और विषयों को शिक्षकों ने अपनी नियति मान लिया था दशकों से, तो उसमें आपने सफलतापूर्वक उसको गतिमान किया है। लंबित जो प्रोन्नति जैसे विषय, उसको आपने कुशलता से सुलझाया है और प्राध्यापकों को उनकी गरिमा पुनः वापस लौटाया है। सकारात्मक दिशा परिलक्षित होने लगी है और इस नई बयार के साथ आपका हार्दिक स्वागत है सर। मैं स्वागत एवं अभिनंदन करता हूं अटल बिहारी वाजपेयी विश्वविद्यालय के स्वनामधन्य कुलपति माननीय प्रोफेसर अरुण दिवाकर नाथ वाजपेयी जी का। अनेक विश्वविद्यालयों को आपके अपने नेतृत्व से आपने दिशा प्रदान की है। आप अर्थनीति के विशेषज्ञ तो हैं ही, भारतीय जो ज्ञान परंपरा है उसके अद्भुत व्याख्याता हैं। हम बराबर आपको सुनते रहते हैं। आपका वैदुष्य तथा शिक्षण कौशल सभी शिक्षकों के लिए अनुकरणीय है, नई दृष्टि देने वाला है। आपका मार्गदर्शन हमें पूर्व में भी मिला है। इस सत्र में समय देने हेतु आपका आभार पूर्वक स्वागत। राजर्षि पुरुषोत्तम दास टंडन मुक्त विश्वविद्यालय के माननीय कुलपति प्रोफेसर कामेश्वर नाथ सिंह जी का सानिध्य हमारे लिए प्रेरक एवं दिशाबोध कराने वाला है। आप प्रख्यात भूगोलवेत्ता हैं, पर्यावरणविद हैं और वैश्विक संदर्भों में तथा विविध क्षेत्रों में अपने शोध तथा अध्ययन से आपने सतत योगदान दिया है। मुक्त विश्वविद्यालय के माध्यम से शिक्षा का प्रसार वंचित वर्ग तक कैसे हो सके, इस दृष्टि से आप सतत प्रयत्नशील हैं। आपका स्वागत एवं अभिनंदन है। हमारे तीनों पुनश्चर्या पाठ्यक्रमों के समन्वयक प्रोफेसर अजय दुबे, डॉक्टर प्रणव कुमार, प्रोफेसर उमेश अशोक कदम, प्रोफेसर शरद कुमार सोनी, प्रोफेसर कृष्णेंदु घोष दस्तीदार तथा डॉक्टर एनुमलाई कानन, आप सबका मैं अभिनंदन करता हूं। ये सारे कोर्सेज इन्हीं के परिश्रम एवं प्रतिभा से फलीभूत होने वाले हैं। जो भी शीर्षक और निर्धारित किए गए हैं और जो विषय विशेषज्ञ रिसोर्स पर्सन्स का चयन हुआ है, वो आपके परिश्रम का परिणाम है। और
सर
क्षमा करें, बीच में कनेक्शन शायद टूट गया था। मैं इसी क्रम में अपने जो सहायक निदेशक हैं जो अभी संचालन कर रहे हैं, उनका भी अभिनंदन करता हूं, जो सारे कार्यक्रमों का सूत्र संचालन बहुत ही निष्ठा और मनोयोग से करते हैं। अपने HRDC परिवार के सभी सदस्यों, विशेषकर गौरव जी, नेहा जी, ओम प्रकाश जी का हार्दिक अभिनंदन, जिन्होंने कोरोना काल की इस आपत्ति को भी ऑनलाइन माध्यम से अवसर के रूप में बदल दिया। हमारे बीच में उपस्थित सभी पार्टिसिपेंट्स का अभिनंदन है। संपूर्ण भारतवर्ष का प्रतिनिधित्व करने वाले हमारे जो प्रतिभागी हैं, वो इस वैविध्यपूर्ण जो भारत है, उस देश की एकता के प्रतीक हैं। समन्वय का यही सूत्र भारत की सांस्कृतिक जो एक सूत्रता है, उसका प्रतिबिंब है। JNU का जो आभासी मंच है, वो आज आकार ले रहा है इसी रूप में। हमारे तीनों पाठ्यक्रम जो ग्लोबल स्टडीज, इकोनॉमिक्स और हिस्ट्री में हैं, वो ज्ञान के क्षेत्र में नवीन शोध से शिक्षकों को अवेयर करने वाले, समाज सापेक्ष शिक्षण परंपरा का प्रोत्साहन करने वाले तथा शिक्षकों को कुछ नया देने की दृष्टि लिए हुए हैं। भारतीय जीवन दृष्टि एवं सामाजिक मूल्यों के परिप्रेक्ष्य में शिक्षक नवीन तथ्यों से अवगत हो सकें, उसे अपने छात्रों तक पहुंचा सकें, उसे वैश्विक संदर्भों के साथ जोड़ सकें, यही हमारा प्रयास रहेगा। सम्यक इतिहास बोध हमें तथ्यों के पुनरावलोकन का अवसर देता है, ताकि स्वर्णिम अतीत से जो गर्वानुभूति होती है, उसके साथ ही जो कुछ भी न्यूनताएं रही हों, उसमें निरंतर परिष्कार करते हुए एक समर्थ समाज का निर्माण किया जा सके। अर्थ की भारतीय दृष्टि विकास की संतुलित अवधारणा पर आधारित है, जिसमें संसाधनों के दीर्घकालिक हित से संबद्ध करना प्राथमिकता रही है। वैश्विक संदर्भों में भारत की उपस्थिति को आज जिस प्रकार से अनुभव किया जा रहा है, वह उल्लेखनीय है। हम सभी उसका अनुभव कर रहे हैं। ज्ञान विज्ञान के विविध क्षेत्रों में भारत गतिशील रूप से विश्व पटल पर उभर रहा है। कोविड के समय भारत की इस धमक को विश्व ने स्वीकार भी किया है। एक अध्यापक के रूप में हम सभी को इन सारी घटनाओं पर नजर रखनी है। इसी दृष्टि से इन पाठ्यक्रमों का संयोजन और संचालन किया जा रहा है। ऑनलाइन पाठ्यक्रम की अपनी सीमाएं होती हैं, तो उसका एक अपना विस्तार भी है, क्योंकि हम सभी जगहों से एक साथ आपस में जुड़े हुए हैं। भौतिक रूप से आप सभी यहाँ उपस्थित होते, फिजिकली यहाँ अगर आते तो बढ़ती JNU के प्राकृतिक वातावरण को आप अनुभव करते, यहाँ के पेड़ पौधों, पशु पक्षियों के साथ आपका इंटरेक्शन होता, हम सब के साथ होता। लेकिन इस आभासी प्लेटफॉर्म पे भी आपका फिर उसी रूप में स्वागत है। भौतिक रूप से फिर कभी मिलेंगे। आपका पुनः स्वागत एवं आभार। धन्यवाद।
धन्यवाद सर, आपका आभार और अभिनंदन आप स्वागत उद्घोषण के लिए। आपके मार्गदर्शन और आपके कुशल नेतृत्व में ही हम ये सब कार्य कर पाते हैं, और इसी कारण से हम पिछले 5 महीने से सर्वाधिक कोर्स जो है वो HRDC JNU की तरफ से कर पाए। थैंक्स अगेन सर। With this word, now I would like to request the course coordinator for the professor course in economics, Professor Koshendru Ghosdastisar sir. May I request to kindly say something about the course of the economics. Over to you, sir.
Okay. Thank you, Dr. Sharma. First of all, I must thank Professor Pandey and, of course, Dr. Sharma. Both me and Elumal, I would like to thank them for providing us with this wonderful opportunity of coordinating this course. And to my dear participants, we will meet you in detail from 2 to 3, and then we'll have a detailed discussion. Just to tell you that modern economics is so vast and diverse. Of course, in 2 weeks, we cannot cover everything, but we have tried to give you a snapshot of what it is all about. Okay, so as if you see the topics of all the lectures, it covers various areas of within economics. And we have tried to give focus to those areas which are hot topics of research. For example, you will see behavioral economics is a very hot area of research now. We have 4 lectures on that by experts. Also environment, corporate social responsibility, industrial economics, things like that, agriculture. So we have tried to cover and tried to pick up the best of experts available. And since it's online, we could approach some of the best experts from India. Okay, so and more details we will specify during the 2 to 3 slot. So I won't take much time. Elumalai, would you like to say a word or two on this?
Yeah, thank you again. As you mentioned, we are thankful to Professor Pandey and Dr. Sharma entrusting us to coordinate this refresher course in economics. Perhaps, as you have mentioned, we will speak more during the interaction session with the participants. So we look forward to a very productive interactions and very lively interactions, in fact, in the next 2 weeks or so. We tried our best to bring the best experts available, covering wide range of topics. So that's all I want to share. But thanks again to everyone for giving us this opportunity.
Yes, thanks.
Thank you, Professor Dastidar sir and Professor Kanan for sharing your views on about the courses in economics. Now, may I humble request to the course coordinator in history, Professor Umesh Ashok Kadam, who is the chairperson for the Center for Historical Study. May I request you, sir, kindly
Thank you.
express your views. Yeah.
Thank you, Dr. Sanjeev Sharma ji, and thank you, Professor Brijesh Kumar Pandey ji, the Director of HRDC, for giving us the opportunity to be the coordinators for the 37th refresher course in history. We have got a very a long list of participants. I see there are participants from all the corners of India who will be listening to various speakers, and in the same manner we have tried to bring in many scholars on various kinds of specializations in history. We are looking forward for a brainstorming sessions in the next 2 weeks. So I look forward that all participants do their best in the refresher course. Thank you very much, and we will be meeting with all our participants in the post-lunch session, that is between 2 to 3. Thank you very much. Thank you, Sanjeev ji.
Thank you, sir. Professor Saraswani sir, would you like to share something? Yeah, so now I would like to request the coordinator for the refresher course in the global studies, Professor Dubey sir. May I kindly express the view about the courses? Professor
Thank you.
Dubey.
Thank you. First of all, let me congratulate all our women colleagues, students, participants on this Women Day for making this world livable, to making this world more human. So congratulations to all of you. I will start by thanking Dr. Brijesh Pandey, Dr. Sanjeev Sharma for giving us this opportunity to launch this course and to conduct this course. Global studies is not a new subject for India, for Indian knowledge system. Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam was our key word long ago when the globalization began. And from that perspective, the global studies encompasses understanding of our local situation, global situation in a very broad canvas. And this course is designed in that sense that some of the issues that we had been studying in terms of our localized context, and more importantly, in terms of the state-centric concept, has become much more global. The technology has enabled understanding of the issue, creation of the knowledge in the global context. And it is from this perspective that this global studies is beyond the international studies course that we had been doing in this university and also in this country in a way that covered a state-centric approach to knowledge formation and understanding the global issues. This course has been especially designed keeping this in mind, that it is interdisciplinary, that not just the state but non-state actors, the globalization process which had led to transnational identity, transnational connectivity, and also very high emphasis on global common, how the local and global issues are getting interlinked, not just by technology, but also by the approach of society, knowledge formation, and state. We'll discuss more about this in second half, but I will once again welcome all of you and express my thanks to three very distinguished honorable vice chancellors who have come to share their views on this area. And may I request my colleague, Dr. Pranav, if he has something to share.
सर धन्यवाद सर, सबको मेरा नमस्कार। सर ने लगभग सारी बातें अभी के लिए कह दी हैं, तो मुझे कुछ अभी अतिरिक्त नहीं कहना है। सबका अभिनंदन और सबको धन्यवाद।
Thank you.
Thank you, Professor Dubey sir and Dr. Pranav for sharing your views on about the interdisciplinary course in the global studies. Now, I am profoundly elated to take an opportunity to introduce our esteemed guest for this the combined inaugural session. Although our all esteemed guests, the Kulgurus of the 3 or the 4 different universities, they are well known globally or the nationally in the academic or the administrative work. The first of all, it's my the humble request and my deep sense of gratitude to invite Professor P.C. Joshi sir, Honorable Vice Chancellor of University of Delhi. Professor Joshi sir is the Professor of Social Anthropology. He worked earlier in different institutions like HNB Gadwal University, Institute of Human Behavior and the Allied Sciences at the Delhi. His expertise in the medicine anthropology, qualitative research, public health, disaster impact assessment tool, and anthropological and the mountain communities studies. Sir is the recipient of 1987 of Priyadarshini Mitra National Award and many other awards from World Health Organization and the ICSSR. So these are only the small drops from the ocean which I am sharing with you. So with this word, now may I humble request to Professor Joshi sir, kindly address our participant. Over to you, Professor Joshi sir.
Thank you very much, Dr. Sanjay Sharma. At the outset, I would like to thank most respectful Professor Brijesh Kumar Pandey, who is a very dynamic personality heading the HRDC. And HRDC of JNU is a very special institution. I have had the fortune and privilege of speaking or taking some classes in HRDC of JNU. I agree with Professor Pandey that the charm of physically talking to students cannot be replaced. Of course, there are great advantages of online education that you can spread out, you can talk to so many people at the same time, and that is a big advantage. But as a traditional conservative teacher myself, I don't think that taking a physical class is irreplaceable by anything else. But anyway, I think we are also having in Delhi University CPDHE, and very competent Professor Geeta Singh is running that, and we are also involved in so many programs, and especially after the COVID-19 and getting into the online mode, these programs will become more frequent and I think more wide-ranging and having participants from different places, more participants from different places. Earlier, there used to be limitation in how many participants we can have because they would come from outside Delhi and then we had to make arrangement for their stay also. But now, not only that we are able to have more participants each program, but I'm very, it is really very surprising for me that there are 3 faculty development programs that are being run simultaneously. And I think that's taking the full advantage of digital mode. And I think truly JNU has shown that they have converted, disability into an opportunity. And this is what is required in India today. And then because JNU has that capacity to spread around. Now, all these three topics are very vital. Let's start with global studies. And especially when we talk of global studies, we definitely would like to address India. We definitely would like to address how India has been interacting in past and in present. And I think one thing that is constantly true of this great country is that this country never ever in the past and also today has any ulterior motives in creating relations. And the proof of it is that wherever you have seen there is a great influence of India, but India never believes in converting people. And a very good example of that could be, I think everybody must visit Indonesia. Look at what is great Indian influence, and yet we never try to convert them. So we have a very different approach. And today, the same thing is repeated by India today as well. We have been giving vaccines free of charge to those who cannot afford it without any price tag attached to it. That is Indian way of dealing with the world. That is Indian way of looking at the globe. Vasudha eva kutumbakam, That is the true meaning of Vasudha eva kutumbakam. That we consider the whole world as a family. And when we consider the whole world as a family, we don't differentiate between X and Y. We are what is called as Udar Charita. We are Udar Charita. That is the Charita we have, Udar Charita, magnanimous. Without any condition attached, we help people. And I think this has been done by India right after independence. You go to African countries and you try to see what they have got from India. India never, gave them money. There's a Chinese saying that you teach people how to catch fish rather than giving them fish. We have trained a generation of scientists, a generation of clinicians, a generation of engineers, including a generation of politicians. From my university itself, there have been so many head of states which have come and which have ruled Africa and different countries of Africa. We have had that influence in Bhutan, and that is not a hegemonic influence. It's again a kind of Vasudha Kutumbakam kind of influence that we have. So I'm very glad that a very competent person like Professor Ajay Dubey is looking after this job. And definitely, I know Ajay Dubey's competence. He definitely is going to bring to the participants that which makes India as a global power. And when we say India as a global power, we do not have any design of conquering the world. We conquer the heart of people. We do not conquer them physically. We conquer the heart of people. And therefore, because we conquer the heart of people, Indonesia being a Muslim country, at the base, it is all Hinduism that we see. Their national monument is Krishna teaching Arjuna and giving him the blessing of Gita. That is their national monument. It is a national monument. And you talk to them, they know this is our heritage. This is their heritage. This is what India does. Go to Thailand, their king is called Rama. We never converted them into our culture. That influence was never there. But at the substratum, you have an Ayodhya there. They call it Ayodhya. But that is there. Ayodhya is there. There is influence of India in China. What is Shaolin Temple or what is this Kung Fu after all, if not Indian? Go to Korea. There was a queen from Ayodhya there in Korea. Go to Japan. Go anywhere. But there is India never believes in any hegemonic design. India never believed in exploiting people. Why? Because again, I go back to Vasudha Eva Kutumbakam. They are our family members. Why should we demand anything from them? If I give something to my son, if I give something to my sister, do I demand anything? So therefore, India never demands. But this attitude that we have learned out of thousands and thousands of years, this is the attitude that we have emanated, we have given to the world. And I think our worthy participants are going to learn about the economics, the intricacies of economics, the intricacies of histories, and intricacies of global studies, international relations through this faculty development program. From my heart, I wish all the best to all the participants. I also would like to congratulate all the experts who are going to give lectures. But I think my regards go to other distinguished vice chancellors from Madhya Pradesh, Shri Singh, Professor Singh and Professor Vajpayee. And again, I congratulate the leader of SDRC, Professor Brijesh Pandey, for taking up this great challenge. And I'm sure that he will be taking up such challenges in future as well. So you have all my best wishes for this program. Namaskar. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, sir. And our deep sense of gratitude for your thought-provoking words, motivational or encouraging word to all of us, sir. And I believe that all our participants and all of us are highly benefited by your words, sir. The knowledge and the wisdom is definitely will show path to all of us, sir. Thank you very much, sir. In these words, now I would like to invite the next esteemed guest, Professor K.N. Singh. Professor K.N. Singh, sir, is the Vice Chancellor presently at Raisi Tandon Open University, Uttar Pradesh, which is one of the largest university registered student and all in the Uttar Pradesh and even in the country also. So Professor Singh is also the Vice Chancellor at Professor Rajendra Singh University. Prior to join as a Vice Chancellor for Raisi Open University, Professor Singh was the HOD at Department of Geography, Deen Dayal Upadhyay University, Gorakhpur, and the founder chair member for the Deen Dayal Upadhyay chair at the same university. Sir was recipient of the many awards. He was also the best geography teacher and by the Deccan Geographer, then the DAD Fellowship. He's a great environmentalist and conducting the one, because I'm from the geography, so I know personally, sir, this the Geography Kumbh Mela. So this is the one of the the biggest event he's conducted during all these the Kumbh. So we are highly blessed by your presence, sir. Now over to you, sir, and my humble request to address our participant.
Hello.
Yeah, namaskar, sir.
Am I audible? Am I audible to everyone?
Yes,
Hello?
sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Please, sir. Carry on, sir. Please.
Okay. Director HRDC, Professor Brijesh Pandey ji.
Audible, sir.
Yeah. Assistant Director, Dr. Sanjeev Sharma ji. Course Coordinator of 53rd Refresher Course in Economics, Krishnendu Ghosh ji. And Professor Elumalai Kananji, Course Coordinator of 37th Refresher Course in History, Professor Umesh Ashok Kadamji and Sarath Kumar Soni ji, Course Coordinator of 7th Refresher Course in Global Studies, Professor Ajay Dubey ji and Dr. Pranav Kumar ji. Eminent speaker and noted administrator, Vice Chancellor Delhi University, Professor Puran Joshi ji, eminent scholar, Professor Adrian Vajpayee ji, and participants of 3 refresher courses from different places. I welcome you all on this special occasion. It gives me immense pleasure and proud to inaugurate joint refresher course organized by HRDC. I am grateful to Dr. Brajesh Pandey and Dr. Sanjeev Sharma ji for inviting me for inaugural lecture on this occasion. Friends, after a statement of one eminent speaker, nothing is left. He has touched every corner of the refresher course. However, being invitee, I would like to say something in few words. Friends, let me tell you that HRD refresher courses are not simply tick mark program. Rather, it has been designed to generate vision and mission of higher education among participants. I have no hesitation to say that you are enough fortunate that you are attending a refresher course conducted by HRDC JNU, which has many competent and efficient scholars who will guide you. Friends, India is facing tremendous changes because of changing global scenario. Now this is prime time to establish India as super knowledge power in the world. At the same time, we have to fulfill the expectation and inspiration of youth power, matching with need of 21st century. Friends, these 3 refresher courses are being organized at a time when Government of India is going to implement National Educational Policy 2020. This policy is not simply educational policy. Rather, in words of our Prime Minister, now it is national policy. And after becoming national policy, it is a matter of serious concern for every academician and citizen. In perspective of new education policy, this joint refresher course is unique practice, which has demolished the hard boundaries of the disciplines. Thus, this unique practice gives me a practical touch of new education policy, and for that unique coordination, I would like to thank Professor Brajesh Pandey ji and Dr. Sanjeev Sharma ji for their practical thought. Friends, the new education policy emphasizes on the holistic education, which incorporates academic skill, vocational skill, professional skill, and life skill. All these 4 skills are essential for holistic development of a student. I would like to say that these 4 are not essential for students only. Rather, it is essential for teachers too. Among the 4 skills, life skill is most notable, which include communication, coordination, teamwork, and resilience. These all 4 skills must be developed in any teacher too. Here, I would like to draw your attention on ideas and principles of behind the establishment of the universities, because all you are connected with the and affiliated with the universities and higher education institutions. So, I would like to remind you the principle behind the establishment of the universities. There are 4 basic functions of the higher education institutions, and every academician must be aware with these 4 functions and should be prepared to follow it. First, one is dissemination of knowledge, that is teaching. When I talk about teaching, it means quality teaching which incorporate contemporary contents and new approaches as well as new methodologies. The teachers must take active participation in curriculum framing. The second function of the universities is consolidation of knowledge. It means to find out the new subjects, especially in context of 21st century. We need a reclubbing of disciplines. And third function of the university is creation of knowledge, that is research. And research, I mean, it must be as per need of the society. The research must be oriented to find out the solutions. Research must be as per need of time and space. What local problems and challenges are emerging? Research should focus on that. And fourth function of the universities is outreach program. Teachers and campus should be connected with the community with viewpoint of social welfare. In this reference, I would like to remind you about the brainchild of our Pradhan Mantri, Shriman Narendra Modi ji, Unnat Bharat Abhiyan, in which every higher education has been advised to adopt the 3 to 5 villages in their surrounding, and teachers and students should visit the adopted villages, know their problems, share their problems, care their problems, interact with the academic, local administration, and find out the problems which are hurdle for the desired development. And let us resolve some recommendations so that it could be sent to the planners and policy makers. And by this way, our campus could be very valuable and a resource for national development. So that's all which I consider valuable. On this occasion, with these words, I stop myself here. And again, thank to Dr. Brajesh Pandey ji और मेरे अनुज संजीव जी, जिनका और ब्रजेश जी का हमेशा आग्रह रहता है कि ऐसे मौके पर हमको भी शामिल करते रहते हैं, और एक साथ इतने अच्छे से लोग से देश भर से जुड़े हुए लोग हैं, पूरे भारत का दर्शन हमें हो रहा है, मैं देख सकता हूं। तो मैं really I am very thankful to Brajesh Pandey ji and Dr. Sanjeev Sharma ji. They invited me and gave me a chance and opportunity to interact with these eminent participants also from different disciplines. Okay, now I have to care the time and space, since I am a student of geography, and geography always study the time and space. Time and space is subject matter of geography. I know the space is totally distinct. This is a prime time, and eminent speakers are also sitting here. So many participants are sitting here. So space is very important and time is short. So being a geographer, I must respect to time and space. And with these words, I again honoring the time and space, I would like to stop myself with these words, or I would like to wish a very, very grand success for these 3 refresher courses and bright future for participants too. Thanks. धन्यवाद ब्रजेश पांडे जी, ब्रजेश जी, बहुत अच्छा लगा आप लोगों ने हमको बुलाया, और संजीव जी, और बहुत अच्छा लगा भाई, इतने अच्छे लोग का सुनने को मिला। और जेएनयू का एक बहुत महत्वपूर्ण स्थान है भाई। जेएनयू तो पूरे देश को कुछ न कुछ लाभान्वित कराता रहता है। इतनी कॉम्पिटेंट अथॉरिटीज और कॉम्पिटेंट और एफिशिएंट एक्सपर्ट्स वहां हैं, तो निश्चित रूप से ये लोग लकी हैं कि एचआरडीसी जेएनयू द्वारा आयोजित इस पाठ्यक्रम में भाग ले रहे हैं। मैं सबके प्रति आभार ज्ञापित करते हुए अपने वाणी को विश्राम देता हूं। धन्यवाद।
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much. And thank you very much for enlightening all of us about the new national education policy and the role, responsibility, and the function of the university institutions or the academics. You rightly said, sir, this is the time and the need of the hour that we need to share about the social responsibility also. And we need to contribute for the social upliftment also. So it should be reflected that the theory should be reflected in the practical, and the practical should be reflected in the action. That is very, very important. Thank you once again, sir, for sparing your valuable time. And in this word, now this is a time to, I would like to, it's my honor and my deep sense of gratitude to introduce and invite our Honorable Vice Chancellor of the Atal Bihari Vajpayee Vishwavidyalaya Bilaspur, Chhattisgarh, Honorable Professor A.D.N. Vajpayee sir, who was also my Kulguru earlier in HP University. So he was also the Vice Chancellor earlier in HP University Shimla, then Vice Chancellor of Avdesh Pratap Singh University, then Vice Chancellor of Mahatma Gandhi Chitrakoot Gramoday Vishwavidyalaya, a renowned economist. And sir का तो आध्यात्मिक में और इसमें बहुत ही योगदान है, and he has delivered more than I think the thousands of the lecture online in India and the abroad also. He is also the council member for the Association of the Commonwealth University, Secretary General for All India University Association. And with these the few words, I would like to invite Professor A.D.N. Vajpayee sir. Sir, over to you, sir. And my humble
thank you, Sanjeev. Thank you, Sanjeev, for speaking so good words about me. I am not that spiritual, not that an orator, as you have just introduced me to all the participants. I too joined hands with my earlier speakers while thanking you as well as Dr. Brajesh Pandey for inviting me to be a part of this panel to inaugurate 3 simultaneous refresher courses being organized by UGC HRDC, Jawaharlal Nehru University. Actually, I was carefully listening Professor K.N. Singh. He was always reiterating only 2 dimensions. Generally, our philosophy says a 3-dimensional study: time, space, and matter. This is the matter which connects time and space. If matter is not there, then time and space, per se, lo behold, doesn't speak anything, doesn't mean anything. And for spiritual persons, there is a 4th dimension also, which transcends Am I audible?
Ji.
Am I audible? Hello.
Ji.
Yes, sir.
So, as Sanjeev introduced me that I'm a spiritual man, for spirituality there is a state of Turiya. Turiya means there is a 4th dimension. 4th dimension transcends all these 3: time, space, and matter. Then you opt in, that is your 4th stage. When you opt in 4th stage, these three, you see, dimensions get, you see, diluted automatically. They have, you see, little importance for the person who is spiritually charged. Only one footnote to what you see earlier Ken Singh Saab mentioning. That was very good, you see, lecture. So far as responsibility of institution as a whole and teacher as an individual. You know, this refresher course you are organizing on the theme of global, you see, studies as such. Global studies have become very much important nowadays because we are a part of, you see, globe as such. No country can remain in isolation. I have coined a concept of iso-nationalism. Iso-nationalism means equal status to all nations as such. We all know that there are about 195 nations hooked to the United Nations as such. There are some rich nations. There are very, very rich nations. There are, you see, poor nations. There are very, very poor nations as such. There are only 4 categories of all the nations as such. You see, with the time in continuum, you see, some nations have gathered lot of, you see, income in the terms of gross domestic product. Some, you see, nations have gained an edge over, you see, science and technology, the researches, the knowledge economy as such. Some nations have gained is out of proportion power so far as defense is concerned. And some nations have certainly, you see, got, you see, power in terms of foreign trade as such. So some nations, which we call them G20 countries as such, so far as area is concerned, they're not having sufficient much area under their control. So the population is concerned, they're not having much population under their control. As far as gross domestic product is concerned, they are dominating a big portion of global gross domestic product. My statistics is to say about 23% or 27, less than 30% population holds more than 70% gross domestic product, and more than 70% population has only less than 30% is the gross domestic product. I think in long run, when we are talking about sustainability as such, and the United Nations have himself talked about sustainable development goals. But this sustainable development goals cannot be obtained by this unsustainability of, you see, inequality prevailing across the nations. So under this global studies, global development studies, for which all these three refresher courses have been devoted, my focus will be these inequalities amongst the nations must be resolved at a, you see, very fast speed as one. Secondly, there are a lot of, you see, inequalities prevailing within a country as such. These inequalities may be person to person, which we call them person inequalities. They may be, see, region to region, which we call regional imbalances. Within a country also, some states, some regions. Madam, आपको जमुहाई आ रही है? I am seeing one madam, Xavier, Snehila Xavier. You are yawning. It's not good. Yeah, no. You see, you should be cautious. I think I'm not that powerful orator, which can't attract you so much. Anyhow, what I was, you see, mentioning, within a country also, the personal inequalities are also increasing at a very fast speed. So those inequalities should be redressed in a matter. The income of the top persons, the first 10% is decile, second decile, should be transferred to the last 10%, the last 20%, the last 30%, so that there is a balance, equality between the person incomes is involved. Similarly, some states, some regions are, you see, developed faster than the others. So those regional imbalances are also not good. All statistics related to whether coefficient of variation or Gini's coefficient or Lorentz ratio per se speak across nations and within country, across regions, across persons. This you see Gini's coefficient in Lorentz curve ratio, Lorentz ratio, and coefficient variation increasing a faster faster growth rate. So this is not proper at all. Similarly, the instability across times, a lot of cyclical fluctuations. There are sometimes zoom, sometimes boom, sometimes loom, sometimes going downward, sometimes recession, sometimes depression, like that. These things are also not good. Say, during COVID-19, most of the economies have gone down. The world economies have gone down. The Indian economy also showed, lower trend. Okay, it was an abnormal situation, well and good. But with normal situation, suppose there are cyclical fluctuations. There may be seasonal fluctuation due to seasons. They are tolerable. There may be some extra situations, extra natural situations. They are tolerable. But it's man-made fluctuations, man-made cyclical fluctuations. They must not be tolerated. So our purpose is to create a harmonious world. Our purpose is to create a peaceful world. Our purpose is to create a sustainable world as such. The three objectives must be at the center point of all studies, especially of the global concern. No country should remain poor, and it's the responsibility of the rich countries to see that poverty of poor nations is removed. And if they are not doing like that, I think they are not holding their own responsibilities as such, and their prosperity cannot run over a long period. That's one part. Second part, the theories, whether theories related to capitalism or theories related to socialism. Capitalism theories begin with the individual freedom and culminate into monopoly or monopsony. Monopoly means holding power in one hand so far as production is concerned. Monopsony means holding power in some persons, one or some persons, so purchasing of the goods is concerned. That is entire story of capitalism. I'm not going into detail. And socialism begins with monopoly of the state so far as production, so far purchase is concerned. That begins with the monopoly and ends with the state, ends with the monopoly. So this monopoly or monopolist practices cannot provide you harmonious world or sustainable world or peaceful world. It's my conviction and it's my contention. I can give you a lot of explanation on that. In between the two, there is one of our own thinker, Dattopan Thingri used that a third wave. I say the first and ultimate wave is our own wave, which is the Indian wave, which is the spiritual wave, which is the Vedic wave, which is the way of the common person, in which we connect individuals with the society, society with the nature, and society, nature with the ultimate power, which we call Brahma, like that. So if our problem, if our issue is to connect, so connectivity is not possible through matter. Connectivity is not possible through space also. Connectivity is not possible through time also. Connectivity is possible only through sensitivity, through emotions, through spirituality. So if you are having emotions at the center, emotions in the terms of love, the brotherhood, the sacrifice, the compassion for others, then I think there will be connectivity between man and man and nature. You see, nowadays, environmental hazards are coming in a big way. And there are issues of climate change. There are issues of global warming, some global cooling. How can we resolve these issues when man wants to eat as much as possible so far as nature is concerned? Man, with the use of technology, man with the use of commercial source of energy, man with the use of more money, man with the more consumerism, man with more materialism, man with more behavioral economics, man with more cognitive economics goes for purchasing, consuming, marketing, like that. And it all is culminates to damaging nature. For that also, no solution the world can provide us. No technology can provide, no methodology can provide solution like that. Our own philosophy provides. What is that? Ishavasya gung saromet kinchit jagatta taktena bhunjitha magrada kasattanam. Gandhiji said that you should consume, Baba, but you should consume whatever is needed to you for satisfaction of your need and the need of the world. The resources have got sufficient resources. Nature has got sufficient resources. But for satiating or greed, nature cannot provide sufficient resources as such. So here lies the role. We should consume, but at the same time, we should try to sacrifice, we should leave for the other. When we are consuming a thing with this particular intention, these resources are meant for me as well as for others. Others are those who are marginalized, who are subaltern, who are outside the market forces, who are purchasing power. If resources are left for that vulnerable section of society, then nature will be able to save the nature as well as will create an equitable society as such. This is our own philosophy. That is the ultimate way of growth and distribution. Entire world is talking about growth-led distribution. And I am one who talks distribution first and growth can come later as such. Distribution first. Then first of all, we should talk about the distribution. First of all, we should talk about saving. First of all, we should talk other side. Growth should be byproduct of distributive justice. Distributive justice should not be a product of growth as such, for which entire global world is working on this line. I am saying we should first take care of the distribution, and distribution will automatically take care of growth. If by this, if it's a work, then there is complete paradigm shift in the thinking. So here, I would like to close by saying that when we are talking about global studies, we should take about global economy, global society, global polity, global cost system, on which type of different regions are dividing the whole world. Why should they divide the whole world? They should try to unite the whole world. There are so many forces in the world working which are dividing the world. We should not think about the dividing world. We should think of uniting the world. And the old concept of Britishers which say that divide and rule, we should replace it. Unite and cooperate. With these words, I close. And once again, I thank Brijesh Kumar Pandey ji for having invited me to this particular session. Equally, I am thankful to Sanjeev Sharma ji, who is a product of Himachal Pradesh University, and also all the participants for carefully listening to my lecture. Thank you very much. Vande Mataram.
Thank you, sir. Dhanyavad aapka. And you rightly highlighted the very important issues, like how as a global citizen, we need to work for the safeguard of the environment and the planet Earth also. I will try to quote some lines here that our ancient Indian wisdom has given us certain important values to implement in our day-to-day lives, including being satisfied with whatever we have. Although we have a lot of how much we can consume, there is a lot of in front of us for the consumption, but we need to learn to share, learn to give first, and then enjoy. The attitude will bring about harmony in the society. So thank you very much, sir, for the kind words or motivational word. In these words,
I have to go for some other work also. So please excuse me. Thank you, Sanjeev. Thank you. Bye.
So we have come to the end of this the combined inaugural session. I have few announcements to the participant. The participant, after lunch, you have a separate parallel sessions. Your course coordinator will interact you in one full session regarding the structure of the course, the assignment, or the evaluation system and all. So I request you all to please join the separate the link which we have already circulated to you. The economics have the different session, the history people have the different, and interdisciplinary courses have different. As I told in the beginning in the morning session when I was interacting with you, so now officially you are a member for 2 weeks, the family member for HRDC JNU. And now you have a double responsibility. You are also representing your institutions and you are also representing the HRDC JNU. So we also request for your the cooperations, and your course coordinator is the course in charge during these 2 weeks. So in detail, I have already discussed with you. So in this word, now it is my sincere responsibility to propose a vote of thanks on behalf of the HRDC JNU. First of all, we express our sincere gratitude to all our respected esteemed guests, Professor Bajpai sir, Professor Joshi sir, Professor Singh sir, for accepting our invitation and sparing the valuable time and enlightening all of us by your the knowledge and the wisdom. Thanks again, and thank you very much, sir. Our heartfelt gratitude to all our respected coordinator for 3 courses, because they are working, they are very hard work, dedicated from the last 2 and 3 months. So we highly appreciated all the efforts done by all the coordinators for arranging the structuring of the course content also, and inviting the resource person throughout the India and the abroad also. So thank you very much all the course coordinator. I can name the course coordinator also, Professor Krishendru Ghosh Dastidar sir, Professor Animanu Kanan, Professor Ashok Kumar Kadam sir, Professor Sarad Kumar Soni sir, Professor Dubey sir, and Dr. Paranab Kumar. Thanks again, sir. I would also like to thank Director HRDC JNU for your support, motivation for conducting such courses. We would highly express our sincere gratitude to our respected Vice Chancellor, Professor M. Jagdish Kumar sir, who encouraged us, who supported us to conduct all the courses through online. Because before Corona, we have no idea that how to conduct these all courses. But now today, we are just on the completion of these courses. So thank you very much. I would like to thank all the JNU faculties, Director CIS for providing all these, the internet and the facilities also. I would like to thank all our HRDC team, especially Mr. Gaurav, Nehaji, Om Prakash ji, and all other those who are working behind the curtain for communicating correspondence with all the participants also. And lastly, I would like to thank all the HOD of your concerned institution, because without their nomination, without their recommendation, it is not possible to join you all here. So thanks all the participants, their head of the institution also. So with this word, I can thanks again to all our participants, the coordinator and the esteemed guest. So with this word, now I would like to request with the permission of the Director HRDC JNU, can we end the meeting, sir?
Uh-huh.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you, Brajesh ji and Sanjeev ji.
Acha, Soni sir. Yeah. So
Thank you. Sorry, वो कुछ टेक्निकल ग्लिच हो गया था, वो मेरी आवाज ही नहीं पहुंच रही थी. कोई बात नहीं है.
कोई बात नहीं. So अभी आप हेलो कर दीजिए सबको, so that we can, yeah.
Hello to everybody, especially the participants of 37th refresher course of history. We will be meeting soon in the afternoon session. And thank you to our directors, Professor Brajesh Pandey, and Deputy Directors of Sanjeev ji. Thank you very much.
Thank you,
it's
sir.
Always pleasure to have and I'm really grateful that you have appointed me also as one of the coordinators of this history session with Professor Umesh Kadam. Thank you so much.
Thank you. And I request all the participants, please read the instruction. That is very, very important, which we have shared with you. Please see all the format which we have shared for all the summary and all. So in the meantime, when you join the afternoon session with the course coordinator, I request you all, because I feel that many of you have not read these instructions.